Your gift may have started as something you did out of love, but that does not mean it must remain unpaid, unplanned, or overlooked. When people continuously seek your cooking, creative teachings, or organizing, or just your guidance in general, they are showing you that your gift has value. It is time to stop treating your talent like a casual hobby and start honoring it like the business it made was made to be meant for you to be able to do that.
Pull up a chair, bring your dream to the table. Mama Vega's here helping women feel able. Business, purpose, wellness, and life. We rise together and build what's right. Welcome to Mama Vega's kitchen table, where women gather to grow, build, and rise. One story, one dream, one business at a time. Mama Vega's kitchen table, where women rise and shine.
Today's episode of Mama Vega's Kitchen Table is proudly sponsored by Zach's Big Trees and Nursery, the beautiful garden setting where our conversations are recorded. Now pull up a chair and let's gather around Mama Vega's kitchen table.
Okay, if people keep asking you to cook, create, organize, decorate, teach, all those things, what do you think about your gifts? Those are really your gifts, but what are you thinking about? You're busy hustling, doing all these things, running around, trying to help people. People ask you, like you mentioned one time that people are always asking you to cook, make something for them. Mm-hmm. You say people want you to bake. You'll say people ask you to do, some type of profile or something with mortgage, but you don't put a price on it. You just go ahead and do it. They'll ask me consulting things, and sometimes I don't put a price on that. But we have to stop treating our gifts, because that's a gift. You do it naturally. That's a God-given gift that you have. You just naturally do it. So it's like, okay, I do it. And you make it look easy, mm-hmm. But it's not easy. And the reason I say it's not easy, because you thought about it. And what you did is you put years of experience into what it is that you're doing. So you do have a gift, but you've honed on that gift and you've created something with that. So now that has a value because it's a part of you. So what would you tell someone that they can do to maybe put boundaries on or something of that nature to stop treating your gift like it's of no value? And if you have stopped doing that, what has it cost you?
Okay, well, I know that when I was out there cooking, with just street vending, I was popping up wherever there was an opportunity for me to make a little, and that's exactly what it was, a little bit of change to keep me going. I will pop up. Anybody would say, we want Miss V's Vittles here or there. I was there, but at the end of the day, I was exhausted. I didn't have I had my help, but I didn't have, I always ran after every single opportunity, and it wore me out to where now I have crashed and burned so many times that I'm here repairing what I've allowed happen to me. Because here I was thinking, oh, I'm getting my name out. Everybody knows my name. As long as I'm getting advertisement, as long as my name is out there, as long as, that's what I was thinking. But at the end, I'm still going to go and recycle cans for my gas. So it's like, I'm making enough to make it, but not to where I have a residual income.
And so what you're also saying is you were also undervaluing and you were underpricing what your skills were.
Yes.
Because you were just saying, I need this money to pay this bill. And once that bill was paid, you were like, okay, I paid that bill. And now you're running out to go get more money to pay the next bill. But you were not getting ahead because you were undervaluing everything and
Yes.
thinking if I raise my price,
they wouldn't buy.
okay.
And they will tell you that while you're out there in those streets, why your stuff's so high, and why it's a whole lot of stuff that comes at you as a person that's out there on the streets trying to make this money. Well, so and so's is this price, and so and so's, and it's like you say to yourself, you don't want to look at your neighbor and you don't want to do this, but when they keep coming at you with that, and then you're thinking, well maybe I'm not, just like with my with my seasoning. When I first started selling the seasoning, I gave a price, and they were like, well, Xanaran is only $1.99. I'm like, what?
Oh,
So I'm looking at them like that is a big chain. They can afford to do that. With me, this is a gourmet, limited edition type of thing. So therefore, you're going to pay for the brand, and if you don't want to pay for it, don't pay for it. But because I was in a clique type of situation, and I didn't go outside that clique, that dried up.
mhm.
So now here I am, and I have to reinvent my product because now I'm valuing my product. I know that I have something. I've been away from them long enough to know that nobody has my seasoning.
Mhm.
Nobody.
Mhm.
And I'm going to say it again, nobody has my seasoning.
Say it here in the back.
I saw you, Andrea, a couple of times. You kind of chuckled and you smirked when she said a few things. So I want.
I mean, it's the same thing. Mine was always, I knew what the value of the things were, but I didn't add my value to it.
Okay.
And I was putting it out there,
Okay.
market what they charge, what the big brands charge.
Yeah.
But I wasn't putting my market because they're whole, like Bisha said, they're wholesale, retail, so they buy in bulk. So it's going to be, of course, affordable. But with us, it's the manual labor, and each little product is done, especially one by one, and it's curated for the customer. So then I'm not getting anything. So at the end of the day, I'm negative. I'm making more bills.
Yes.
So I went and did all of this, and I was, oh, great. Come on over here and do this for us, and you get your name out there. Everybody knows who I am.
And that's the first thing they say,
Right.
too.
That's always
That
what
is
they
the
say.
first thing they say. They don't offer no dollars, but they are always talking, but your name is out there. I mean, it's like an old record company.
Yeah. Yes. There you go. It is. It is.
But it's like, but I'm to me, I'm already out there. Everybody already knows who I am. So it's like, okay, well, no. And then Mama Vega's like, Chef Mom, you have to charge for your service. And I'm like, I am charging for myself, but if I give them a discount, or if I do it, I'll be out there. She's like, everybody knows who you are. So
They make a choice.
right,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have to make sure to value yourself, self value, and then add that to your product. And the people who like you, who want your products, will pay it.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
They will.
Most definitely.
They will.
I find that in services, because I know you guys have actual products. I'm in services.
Mm-hmm.
So pricing my services is very, I have to go through like an algorithm, like a formula. So I kind of like, so you can see, I know we're on a podcast, but I have to go through measures that look like this to calculate just a simple comparable on one property. And that means I have to compare it with 3 properties. And when I do those comparables, that means there's a metrics that goes with it. That takes time. It takes my energy, brain power, how to look up other resources. So the services I provide are a little more extensive than what a regular virtual assistant to a realty specialist would do. Usually they have their transaction coordinators and things that they're licensed to do. I take up all the other stuff like running their CRM, which is their computer model, and getting their sphere of influence into their systems, and then also helping them with their contracts and inputting the data and things like that. I was discussing that with Andrea earlier in the car. And I create a general service agreement that generally breaks down all of my tasks and duties, what I charge, why I charge that, why I charge a deposit. So in case that, because in the real estate, if the escrow does not close or go through, that contract is dead. I still got to get paid. So I make a deposit. I have to at least 50, so I charge 300.
I ask for $50 of that 300.
Mhm.
So if the transaction doesn't go through, there are prices in my service agreement that talks about the things that I did do, and I will charge for those things and not anything else. So I'm fair,
Mhm.
and most people wouldn't do that. They would just be like, "No, I still want my $300. I at least take a deposit," and I have made that measurable act because I noticed that people were just about the money. Hey, I want money too, but I want people to come to me actionably and say, "Hey, you worked with me, and I was able to actually talk with you, and you were not just available." Because that was another thing. People were not available. But I also wasn't. Just text me and I will let you know if I have room on my calendar. These are the languages. It just made me have to learn how to talk to people in a more professional manner. So I set my things up before I even got a dollar.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? So my general service agreement was everything about my one business, which is the virtual assistants. I have actually three businesses, but that's my one that I have with services. And my other ones, I just have to wait to get my license so that I can pursue it. But I'm still in education for that. And then my business that I'm doing with Mama Vega. These are all things I'm doing concurrently, but they're services. So like to be able to get my value, I have to know what the value is it bringing, and then put it in a general service agreement with contract language and everything that will go with the Association of Realtors, mortgage, whoever I'm working with, and making sure that it's sound. Let them read it. They can put it through their little attorney, have them read it too, because I have my service agreement done by an attorney as well. And that's just how I set it.
Mhm.
You know, I know it's a little different with the products and stuff like that. For
But
services, that's how I set it
But
up.
you pointed out something very interesting, even though yours is a service, and what is being presented by Andrea and Bisha is a product.
It's pretty much the same.
It's still a service. And the reason I say it's a service
with products.
it's a service with products.
Yes.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Because the back end is what they too are not doing. When somebody asks them to do something or asks them to make something, and this is when you have a gift and you're treating it like a hobby as
Yeah.
opposed to treating it like a business.
Yeah.
Because many businesses, when you have a service attached to it, if you don't move forward with whatever the service is, you still would have put some type of money down for that that's non-refundable.
Yeah.
And oftentimes when we have something that we're doing that is a product or someone asks us to do something, we don't ask for upfront that non-refundable product
Yeah.
or
The
money,
deposit, yeah.
the deposit, because if they ask you to do something, you're going out and you're getting whatever those ingredients are or whatever little trinkets you've got to get. That now is money lost if you don't have that covered.
Right.
And that's one of the things that I did with Andrea is I told her that stop using text messages. When somebody wants you to do something, send an email so you have it confirmed. Do it as a business. And if they send you a text message and say, "Can you do this?" you go, "Well, what is your email?" And you respond back to them in an email and you say, "This is what you're asking. Is this true?" And once you get what it is they're asking you to do in writing, you follow that up with a contract and you let them know, before I can move forward any further, this is what I'm going to need from you. And then they will either say yes or no.
Yes.
Because now you're not wasting your time in doing something. And then a portion of that, because you've already spent time in order to listen to them, find out what they want, and then decide what is the pricing. Because the way prices are going now, I don't care if you're doing a service or if you're doing a product. Even for a service, you've got to pay utilities, you have to pay all these other things, and all those numbers are constantly changing. So you have to know when you're offering something or you're telling somebody that you're going to do something, if that is going to be the right price that you can actually pay for that or charge for that. And so that when they give it to you, so that's where you want to make sure that you're doing something and it's going to be the right price and you're going to get something for that time that you put in before you finish the product.
Yeah.
That's very important because now you're treating it like a business.
Yeah.
try making a doctor's appointment when it's a private doctor, not when you're going to the ones that's covered by your insurance, but another doctor, and don't show up.
They want 20. They want
A no show
money.
Yeah,
No
they,
show.
They have a no show.
right, and they have. There's a photographer that's here in town. He's got he sends you the information, and he tells you that, you know, if you are 10 minutes late, this has been canceled. You're not wasting my time.
Yeah.
That's all in the general. Yep.
And you're going to have to pay for that
Yeah.
that time you would have been here.
Mhm.
So what does it do? It makes your customer be accountable to you, and now your customer values you and values your time because you just put a price on it.
Mhm.
They're not going to walk away from that. So
Mhm.
that's where you have to be, and it may sound harsh, but it's not.
It's not, because when you're not, because like all of the years that I have treated my gift as a hobby, I have gotten burnt out.
Exactly. Hold that thought.
Before we continue, we would like to thank today's sponsor, Zach's Big Trees and Nursery, the beautiful location where Mama Vega's kitchen table is recorded. A healthy and welcoming home is not only about what happens inside. Trees, plants, shade, and peaceful outdoor spaces can give families a place to rest, gather, and create lasting memories. Whether you are searching for a beautiful tree, colorful plants, or inspiration for your outdoor space, visit Zach's Big Trees and Nursery. Now, let's return to Mama Vega's kitchen table.
Okay, Visha, now you can finish.
But yeah, I had got burnt out because I was showing up for everything. You know, every little thing I was showing up. Plus, I was also still cooking in between. You know, so when it got to the point, I'm right now. I'm trying to find the love that I know I still have for my gift, because I know it's a gift. I know it is, because I can fix a whole meal for 50 people with my eyes closed within a certain amount of time without anybody helping me prep. You know, because that was my zen. That's where, you know, little sip of something, some wine, and I'm gone. You know, that's all I need. Give me a little sip of wine and I'm gone. And that's what everybody knew. You bring Visha something to drink, sit up in there and sit up in the kitchen with her and talk to her, and she getting ready to cook 5 different meals for you. And she don't care. She's asking, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And I cook everybody's meal according, because I give the people what they want.
Does anybody say what kind of wine you want?
No, they don't ever ask. I buy my own wine. I buy my own
You might
wine.
need to put that out there.
Mm-hmm. They usually know when they do come. When they do buy me some wine, they know what kind I want.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the label that you have it like right there so they can know.
No, they've been
Okay.
around. This is family. You know, they already know. They know. You come. It used to be that you can come at any day of the day, any time of the day, and you'll get a meal at Visha's house.
That's how my grandma was down south.
Well, that's the way I was raised. I was up under the grandmas. I was that kid that smelled like grandma, because I was the kitchen, I was the porch child. I stayed up under all the old ladies. I stayed up under all of my elders. I didn't really deal with a lot of young girls. I dealt with older women. So they taught me that this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have something boiling on that stove all the time, because those kids gonna come in at any time, and then you never know who's gonna be passing through that might want a meal. But as time started changing, people started changing. They're not the same.
Oh, I know.
You know, because there was a time these same people that used to come over to my grandma's house or my grandparents' house, they would come with something in their hand.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You don't come to somebody's house empty-handed.
Right.
Now they coming with their to-go plates.
And they bags.
Ziploc bags.
Ziploc bags.
Ziploc bags.
No, they got 99 cents still got
The
little clamshell.
girl, please. These, they ain't playing. You get 8 of them for $1.50. They come and if they got 18 kids, and the cold thing is they will make them a plate, take it out to the car, and then come in and eat. That's the way it was, but nobody was replenishing. Nobody.
So now what are you doing? Okay,
Now,
so now, because that's your gift.
yeah,
All of you have said what your gifts are, but now that we've been doing this for some time, and you've listened to me, and put the brakes on a few things.
yes.
and so now, what are you doing with your gift? How are you handling those type of things now? But I'm gonna start with you.
I usually start with a 15-minute free consultation. And then if we proceed, I pretty much have it narrowed down to where I can, what you want, what you need. And then I'll get back with them with the final quote or pricing out what they've asked me for. And then I slide that service contract in there. And that's how you know if people are playing with you or not. They don't want to sign a contract. They ain't trying to hear you. Then you got somebody playing on your hands.
Yeah.
So it leveled up as a part that, oh, you got a contract, or
exactly,
you making appointments, you be doing consultations.
Yeah.
I'm not here to play with you.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like that changed the game. Thank you, Mama Vega.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome. Because that's what I told her. I said, you're busy running around, like you pointed out, Bisha, you're running around chasing the money to pay the next bill. But the thing is that all you did was pay that bill. You haven't moved forward. No. And then when they tell you they want something, they're going to take you and compare you to somebody else. And then now they're going to try to make you feel guilty. But if you know what your value is, there's no feeling guilty about it.
Yeah.
This is my price. I'm not trying to gouge you. I'm not trying to do anything. I sourced my ingredients. I figured out what it is. The quality is there. This is what I'm doing. This is what my price is. Now, I may choose to give you a discount for whatever reason, but that's a choice. But you're still going to, on that contract, know what my original price is supposed to be, and that I'm doing you a favor. Unfortunately, what happens is oftentimes it becomes, the appreciation that was initially there becomes an anticipation that you're always going to do it.
Yes.
And it changes from appreciation to anticipation, and I expect you to do it.
And see, that's what was happening to me.
Okay.
That's what was happening to me. Like, I would have people say stuff like, I got a friend that wants to do a party. How much do you charge to do a fish fry for their party? And I'm letting them know right now I'm not able to accommodate that. And the next thing is, I'm trying to put some money in your pocket. I don't understand why you're not wanting it. That's the next thing that comes out their mouth. And I'm looking at them like, do you see that I'm having problems? Because around that time is when my body was starting to, like, you can't do this anymore, girl. You need to sit your butt down and regroup, and then execute. That's how I use it. Regroup, step back, regroup, reroute, and execute. Get you some information that you need to get stronger and execute. But I couldn't do that because every person that was around me were, hey, we got this money for you. Hey, we got because I used to run every time somebody told me to run. But because I was having health issues at that time, I was unable to do it. And because I was unable to do it, people started knocking me off. Like I couldn't cook in front of their stuff anymore, or they don't invite me to certain things, and or they're not going to consider me anymore because I'm not consistent. They're not looking at the fact that I am breaking down in your face. Mentally, physically, however I was breaking down, I was having a breakdown. Right. And nobody noticed that I was having a breakdown. Only thing that they noticed was my inconsistency. And it just left me out there. It left me out there.
Andrea, I see you nodding.
No, I mean, I understand what she's saying. And I can relate.
It's crazy. And then they'll just keep on and keep on and keep on and keep on and then when you finally like lose it and react,
she crazy.
Well, no. The first thing they say is, "Well, I could be a victim too. I could be a victim too." That's what. I ain't never been a victim, and nobody can tell me I was a victim. or you get those people that'll tell you, "Oh, I'm investing you, I'm investing you, I'm investing you." So you start chasing that person and being there for that person all the time because they put that carrot in front of you, telling you that they're going to help you. And then when it's time to invest, oh, you're not consistent enough. They raise that bar higher and higher
I
and
want to be
higher.
on that one.
Yeah. And going off of what you're saying, that's why I came up with my service agreement, because when I started to learn that I actually knew a lot more than other people that are licensed to do this, I
Yeah.
took an interest because it was answering so many questions for my own life. I've been a tenant my whole life, except for, when I was with kids and my parents do whatever. But for me, I never knew about home ownership.
Yeah.
So I'm going into this learning stuff and learning and learning. And as I started learning, it really started to answer questions about what's going on in my life, my own socio-demographic, everything. Why my kids aren't getting a quality education. I took them out of school and I homeschooled them. That was just a choice that I made myself, and I'm glad that I did that. But it taught me about everything that I'm trying to do in my life. Like, you trying to do your business and everything. I'm trying to just figure out how to be a homeowner, because like I lost my kids. I found out through courts that you have homeowners get more say when it comes to like retaining custody of your kids. That was my motivation to learning this. So when I started learning more things about how it could actually help other people that's going through stuff that I'm going through. That's why it's a fire for me, because it's not just me anymore. It's for everybody
You have a purpose.
else. Yes, I have
You
purpose.
have an assignment.
Yes, and I don't want to fail it. Like I'm showing up every day to figure out, why am I here? Because sometimes I don't know why I know something. My brain is wired like that. I don't know why. Then I meet Mama Vega and I meet you guys, and you guys are like going through your own things and sharing your stories, and I find so much relation in it. I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm not the only one going through those things. I'm not the only one feeling those type of ways. And people, I'm not the only one dealing with people like that. And it just really opened my eyes. It's like, that's what gives me the perspective of value. So I started doing this whole thing with the bank and everything to up that value myself, value my coin, the value of my personality, the value of my skill, my gifts, my purpose. You know what I mean? So like, it's perfect. This is just perfect that we're talking about this again, because it's like from the last time I can see, I see the turnaround, my teeth. I told you guys about that, and it's just everything's falling into place. And even if I'm in pain right now, it doesn't matter, because that pain is temporary.
Yeah.
I've been through worse.
Yeah.
And I can endure that. And that's why this value is it's the growing pain that I've been waiting for like a long time. Like, I've been through a lot of other type of growing pains. I'm tired of that.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it. I want to do it the
What
correct
they
way
say,
now.
you perfected how does it go? You perfected getting up. Now you got to perfect sustaining.
Yep.
So what are some challenges that you would want to challenge the audience to do? Like, what can you tell them that you challenge them to do to get out of treating their gift as a hobby? Give them one thing. Each of you give like one thing that you could challenge somebody in the audience to do, that where they could pick themselves up and do something. What's one thing you could give them in advice? I would advise you to do this step today.
I advise you to create healthy boundaries, to know where your line is drawn between what's business and what's recreational, and then from there you distinguish the two, create your pricing, and it's no negotiation after that.
I would advise them to shut off all outside noise and trust that inner voice inside of you.
Okay, that's a real good one. Both of those are very good. What would you say?
I would say to endear to trusting people as mentors, like I did with you, and to really endear and listen to what your like mentors are saying, not the ones that like how wondering or we're talking about that just give you whatever. The ones that really are there showing up for you, listen, because even if it hurts or whatever, all of the information is very pertinent to your health, to your growth. I think that I challenge anybody to just get out their own head and listen to the people that are there for you, not the fuzz, not the noise, like you talk about. Do what Risha says, shut them out. Do what Andrea says, set your boundaries and stuff. And I think all of those things are very important because 9 times out of 10, that's where the failure comes in. I know it did for me. Sometimes I didn't listen.
And set boundaries without feeling guilty. Because we've always showed up. When we don't show up, we go through this crazy feeling inside, like, oh my God, they're not gonna, oh my God. You go through a whole lot of emotional stuff. Yeah, it's straight up guilt because these people have programmed you to feel guilty to not be there for them. But you constantly betraying yourself.
And I want you to do one reflection back on yourself. And what that is now that you've been doing this for a while, just give one thing, just one thing, where you can reflect back to where you were and where you are now. Let's start with you.
Reflecting back where I was before, I was not very organized. I was kind of scattered in my thoughts and in my purpose. I knew that I wanted to be able to start a business, and I knew exactly what I wanted to do, but it was like, how do I do it? And I just kind of got scattered in that. When I decided to just, hey, I really need somebody to come in here and tighten me up because I don't know what I'm doing. It's like a doctor. I need to go to the doctor. It's kind of like you are. And when I started discussing things with you, reflecting on it to now, all those little just discussions or something that you pointed out about something I was doing or wasn't doing, it really put it into a better focus. Like, okay, now I have somebody else telling me exactly what I needed to hear because my own voice wasn't being even heard. You know, going to what you're saying, shutting out things. So I can reflect back on having to actually focus was my main issue. Focus on one voice. It's all a part of my own vision, my own fire. But there's people out there. You have to know which ones are there for you and grab them up and let everybody else go. That's the part that I had to learn, you know.
I was pulled in so many different directions. I didn't know which way was up, down, sideways, backwards. So now I work and I operate with purpose. And I stay focused on the end goal. And staying focused on the end goal is like what Visha said, keeping all the outside noise out. And I'm laser focused on what I have to do and no more listening to, oh, do this, do that. Laser focused on my vision. And I'm getting that done. And with that type of focus, it gives me more clarity and it gives you more self-respect. Like, oh, wow,
I did that.
Oh, yeah. It's like a total transition.
I am from, I'm not angry.
Okay. And I do see that.
I'm not angry anymore.
Because when we first met, you were.
I was mad
and guarded.
Very guarded.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to take my guard down because I don't trust.
Right.
So when I come here in the morning time, like I said, I go through a lot of, because it's been hard for me to trust not only the people around me, but trust my own decision making skills. You know, and I feel safe. You know, and I haven't felt safe ever.
That's a big step to know that you have never felt safe.
Never.
And that's a testimony to you ladies as well. That you have given her that as a blessing. So
and even that's scary.
Yeah.
It is.
Knowing that I feel safe, I can still feel, I can hear the old person inside of me, like, you know, they're going to do you the same way, girl. I don't even know why you even over there with them. All they going to do is, you know, I got to go through all of that, you know, but I know that I'm safe. My heart is telling me, my spirit is telling me that I'm safe here. No matter what is going on in my head, I let that go and then just show up. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's a nice emotional closing, I should say. And so what we're going to do now is do our closing.
Today's episode of Mama Vega's Kitchen Table was recorded at and proudly sponsored by Zach's Big Trees and Nursery. We thank Zach's for supporting meaningful conversations, healthy living, and stronger communities.
Around the table, we plant the seed. Women rise with what they need. Business, courage, wisdom, and grace. Mama Vega holds the space. Thank you for joining Mama Vega's Kitchen Table, where women gather to grow, build, and rise. Remember, your dream matters, your voice has power, and your legacy starts with one brave step. Mama Vega's Kitchen Table, where women rise and shine.